Hello and welcome. We are here today joined with my good friend, Mr. Danny Wilson.
Hi there.
And we're going to be talking about a problem that I have not shared with you, a personal problem. And we're going to discuss a potential solution for it. We're going to talk about it here because I think it's not just me that has this problem. A lot of people who have CPTSD, we develop different sort of trauma responses to cope. And some of us develop in a sort of a fight-flight response mode, a tendency towards being hyperactive, developing a bit of an ADHD approach to dealing with tasks during the day. I don't really like the term ADHD that much. I'm not big into it. No, not hugely. But there was another term I learned.
Okay.
When I was putting the bins out once in Heswell. It's a true story. Stop it. Just the bin. It's not a euphemism.
I've known you for that long that I just don't know where this is going.
I was putting some human body parts in the bins, Danny.
Jesus Christ, we're being filmed.
It was just a recycling day.
Yes.
And I put the bins out and it was a bright sunny day and my neighbour over the road let on to me and said, "Hello, mate." And we had a bit of a chat. And I found out that he was a retired psychologist. And I told him what I was doing with narcissistic abuse and all that. It was back in 2015. And we got onto the subject of ADHD. Mm-hmm. And I was like, do you think this is a legitimate diagnosis? And he was like, well, it's a model for what does happen. He says, when I talk about it, I don't call it ADHD because it sounds like a medicalized term. I call it adrenophilia. So you're in love with your own, stop it. Not necrophilia, adrenophilia. You're in love with your own adrenaline and you do things like to keep your adrenaline pumping all the time.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so you don't have to face like more negative emotions or grief or feel sad because you're always stressed out. And we've been talking about this for a while. I use caffeine too much. When I was into drugs, I always like stimulants. I never like downers. I wanted to go up,
well,
up,
everybody
up.
wants to be up, don't they? Nobody wants to come down.
No. Well, I never understand like potheads and catheads.
Never. I'll never get that.
Why would you want to
be everything to slow down? Why would you want to just be not able to do anything?
In a club?
Yeah.
In a K?
Sounds like a right laugh.
Yeah, sink into a K-hole in a club.
Yeah.
You must be tremendous fun.
Yeah, just lie there dribbling.
Especially for us after the door work. 10, 15. Could you imagine feeling totally vulnerable in a nightclub?
No.
Where all the ninjas could come and
I can't cope with it.
No, you want to be beaked up with your back to the wall, which is how we normally are in a club. Like that. Well, are you all right, Dan? Yeah,
I'm having a great night. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We actually got told off by your girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's how we went out, didn't we?
Yeah.
So could you two stop looking like a couple of off-duty bouncers?
Jesus Christ.
No, we can't.
Will you two stop covering each other's arcs and just relax? You know where the fire doors are. It's absolutely fine.
You've checked them 15 times. Settle down. Those lads look a bit funny, Dan. Yeah, I don't know. I've got my eyes on them. So anyway, I think I'm a bit hyper and a bit of a workaholic, bit of an adrenophile, and I use too much caffeine.
Yeah.
Sometimes I use pre-workout. Sometimes I use the fat burners. I'm in a habit now where I wake up and then I'm seeking stimulation. Mm-hmm. I'm seeking to, get a spike. And I'm at the same time, I can hear myself complaining about insomnia.
Yeah.
What is the half-life of caffeine in the human body's system, Dan?
Daniel. I like this new one. So the half-life the half-life is how long it's active in the body for. The quarter life, obviously, is how long it takes for the amount of the chemical in the system to reduce down to a quarter.
Yeah.
With caffeine, it's 10 to 12 hours.
Right.
So the easy maths, shall we say, is if you have 4 cups of coffee between 9 and 10 in the morning, 12 hours later, 9 and 10 at night, you've still got about 1 cup of coffee's worth of caffeine having the effect on the brain.
So there's an amount of time it takes for 100 milligrams of caffeine to go through. The other day I took a pre-workout called Naughty Boy. 350 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is the more caffeine in the system, the longer it'll take to sort of filter through.
No, not necessarily the more caffeine, it all takes the same amount of time to filter through.
Okay.
However, if you have 500 milligrams of caffeine, 12 hours later, you're going to have, I've opened myself up there for showing how rubbish I'm at maths.
Yeah.
What's a quarter of 125?
Yeah, so
you're going to have 125 milligrams of caffeine.
At maths as well. That was fast though. I like that. 125.
Good, aren't I?
Yeah, you could.
I was on the spot. You see, panicked. I panicked, and I just threw a number out.
The adrenaline that helped.
It was the caffeine. So 12 hours later, 10 to 12 hours later, you're going to have 125 milligrams of caffeine in your system. If you have 100 milligrams of caffeine, 12 hours later, you're going to have 25 milligrams of caffeine.
I see. And that's called the quarter life.
That's called the quarter life. Yeah.
Okay. So to be completely clear of caffeine, of all caffeine, are we saying like, do you have to wait
a long time?
Is it 24 hours?
A long time. See, and the thing, this is what you've got to remember. With habitual caffeine use, you don't just have a couple of cups of coffee. Why am I struggling to say cups of coffee today?
Cups of coffee.
And again?
Cups of coffee, lad.
Thank you, Queen. I've lost my fucking train of thought now.
It's because of the way I said cups of coffee.
It is, yeah. You did it for me. So
it's hard to discuss science with if you go too scouse. Hey, don't be laughing, you. You're not from here. You can't laugh. Listen, lads, what's the quarter?
What were we saying?
The quarter life of caffeine. And then I asked you, right, how long does it take for all that caffeine to just be gone out your system and that?
You did. So here we go. So what you need to remember is habitual caffeine users, they don't just have a couple of cups of coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
They'll get up in the morning, feel absolutely goosed because they haven't slept. Straight away, they are caffeinated. Then as the caffeine starts to lose its effect, you're going to have more caffeine and you're going to have more caffeine. So you have maybe you have 1 or 2 cups in the morning. Maybe you get to work mid-morning. You have a coffee break. You have another coffee with your lunch. You inevitably get the 3 p.m. energy slump, which everybody gets. A big part of that is because the effect the caffeine's having on the adenosine in the brain is massively beginning to reduce.
What's adenosine?
Adenosine is that's why we feel tired. It's called sleep pressure.
Oh, okay.
Adenosine is a waste product of energy.
Okay.
Anything that we do physically or mentally requires energy. For us to think requires energy. A waste product of that energy is adenosine.
Okay.
And it's when the levels of adenosine slowly build up over the course of the day that it's called sleep pressure. When that pressure gets to a certain point, that's when we drift off. The way that caffeine works is it puts a blindfold on the brain, so the brain can't see the adenosine. It just doesn't feel the effects of the adenosine.
That's really interesting, that.
That adenosine's still building up though.
So you're still knackered.
So you're still, the sleep pressure is still building up.
But your brain doesn't register.
It's what the caffeine crash is.
Right.
So, you could have a couple of cups of coffee, a pre-workout, you're feeling very good. You're feeling on top of the world. And then you just go,
yeah.
That's because that massive buildup of adenosine that's been just topping itself up all day, everything you do, it's the waste product building up. When that caffeine starts to wear off, the adenosine just goes,
right.
And that's when you go,
So the blindfold's suddenly off, and then the brain goes, I actually was tired.
The brain starts to
go, I'm knackered here, lad.
And peek out of the blindfold, sees all the adenosine and collapses. But that's how it works.
You look like Stephen French lifting up a balaclava then.
I wouldn't even know what that
I'm the
looks like.
devil. What are you going to do about it?
The devil is here.
So if I'm daily saying I'm having like an espresso's worth of coffee in the morning, then I do a pre-workout or whatever. When it comes time for bed, 11 o'clock at night, I'm not that tired. As I know that different people have different levels of sensitivity to caffeine, don't they? And that's genetic.
Yeah.
I think I'm quite sensitive to it.
Yeah.
So it's perfectly reasonable for me to say that's probably given me or it's certainly contributing to sleep
100%,
issues.
100%. Absolutely. No. I would say the majority of people, because people don't quite realize coffee, it's just a cup of coffee. And
harmless.
It's
Your grandmother drinks it.
Yeah,
It can't
my
be that
nan
bad
drinks
for
coffee.
Yeah,
It's fine.
Yeah.
The reality is, it's super addictive. Super, super, super addictive.
Right.
Which is why generally people, as soon as you mention caffeine, they have all this defensive mechanism comes up.
Yeah.
No, I'm fine, me. I don't, it doesn't have any effect on me. I'm like, well, why are you sitting there jittering then?
So this is where I was going to go with you next, actually, is like, speaking just as a drug, it's quite...
And that's what it is. Let's not kind of mess about. It's a drug.
Yeah, just because it's legal and taxable, it's still a drug. I compare it to ephedrine.
Mm-hmm.
When we used to do door work, sometimes you go on the ephedrine and, you're getting like a nice little buzz, keeps you warm, keeps your energy going during a 6-hour shift, suppresses your hunger, quite useful.
Fantastic.
But you get acclimatized to it inside of 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You need more and more.
Yeah,
and I hit points where it didn't matter what I took. I just couldn't feel it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. It's not hitting neurotransmitters or whatever. It's just not receiving it in my brain. But caffeine, I know lads like me who've taken ephedrine for years. They've done they've even done Clen and different other things. And caffeine's the one. That's old faithful. You can still, no matter how burnt out you are.
Caffeine is, it's just...
So it's got to be a powerful drug.
It's insanely powerful.
Right.
It's and what's worrying, I don't give it to my kids. It's the only... I don't know if addictive is a little bit for kind of kids. Talk about addictions and kids, you kind of go, oh, I didn't say that. It's the only drug that we give to our kids.
Oh, I'd say it. I'd say it's appalling that it's normalized to give it to kids.
I'm glad you said it.
No,
I think it's horrendous.
If it was me, I'd be that weird dad who wouldn't even let their kids have Coke. I'd be like, no, you don't.
Hi there, no.
I've some people in my family, they give their kids Coke at 8 o'clock at night at a family dinner.
No.
And then they're like, they won't get up in the morning. I'm like, well, isn't that a fucking mystery? Yeah. Given that you've given them all this sugar and caffeine now.
I'll let my eldest Logan is 13. I'll let him have one can of Pepsi Max.
Yeah.
But not, only in the morning. Not anything. One can of Pepsi Max has got about 40 milligrams of caffeine in it.
Well, I got into a rant about this yesterday with a mate of mine, and I said something, and maybe I'm wrong. Didn't France ban Red Bull for years? And
there's so many stories about Red Bull that...
I'm sure we had Red Bull for like 6 or 7 years before France, because they just said nobody needs that much fucking coffee. Yeah. You don't need it. Now it was a conversation I was having about education. They'd be like, well, what's the problem in the schools? And I'd be like, well, the kids come into schools and they're twitching and ranting and rocking and raving. And they're like, the person I was talking to was laughing. And I was like, no, literally, you've no idea what these kids have to listen to in a classroom, because the other kids are there going, some of them are hitting themselves repeatedly. And they're like, well, they're special needs. I said, no, these are normal, what we class as neurotypical kids, but they've had a bag of What's-Its.
Yeah.
They've come in, they've chosen to spend their pocket money on like a can of Monster, Red Bull, Red Rooster, all the variations.
The thing with energy drinks, I'm not anti-energy drink before, I know a lot of people in the coach industry, they're like massively anti-energy drinks. I'm not necessarily anti-energy drinks. However, I also think that they are probably not the best way for a lot of people to go. So they have a good amount of caffeine in. A Monster's got about 150 milligrams of caffeine in it, which is, depending on which coffee you drink, it could be up to 3 cups of coffee. They also have an ingredient called taurine in it.
Yeah.
Taurine is specifically in there to reduce the feelings of anxiety.
Is it really?
Taurine is...
I didn't know
not
that.
so much a relaxant. Oh yeah, taurine kind of goes against, so it
removes the energy.
It removes that.
So you'll keep drinking it because otherwise you drink it and go, fuck, I don't feel very good here. I won't drink this again.
I can see sounds.
So they give you like, what is that called, a speedball or so? What did they used to take in America in the 80s? They take cocaine and heroin.
They'd take an upper, so they have a great time, and they take a downer so they can go to bed.
Anxious.
That's why taurine is in energy drinks.
Okay,
that's why Red Bull was banned in France, because of the taurine.
Oh, it was the taurine that caused...
They then brought out a version without the taurine, which is now allowed, apparently. I've just Googled it.
Oh, okay. So it's just been Googled. So France banned Red Bull because of the taurine, not because of the caffeine.
Apparently, yeah.
When they brought out the version without taurine, France said, that's okay.
Apparently.
and you can get it now. Okay, thanks for clearing
That's
that up.
probably because it's the taurine is like, I don't even know what you'd compare taurine to. Taurine is taking away the jitters and the horribleness, so that you keep drinking it.
That's appalling. That's like putting additives in food that make you more hungry, or dandruff shampoo that gives you dandruff. Keeps you on the purchasing mill.
Yeah, it keeps you enjoying the product.
Yeah,
without the, if you have 3 cups of coffee, God, you
don't feel too good.
Oh, you'd be horrible, especially if you weren't going to do anything that required the energy.
Because it's okay in the gym. When you've got a sweat on and you're banging through your workout, you feel. But if you just had to sit there,
I think caffeine as a performance aid is really, really good. Caffeine reduces what we call the rate of perceived exertion, so it makes things feel that little bit easier.
Yeah,
it reduces the sensation of pain. So when you're training, you can just push through that barrier a little tiny bit. Caffeine as an ergogenic aid is awesome.
Okay.
However, if you're going to just sit at your desk and have 3 or 4 cups of coffee, you're just going to be an absolute scatty mess.
You're going to feel anxious. So when people come to me and they say they're anxious or they're depressed or emotionally dysregulated, I know that you specialize in sleep and lifestyle now. I really should be talking to them about caffeine usage.
100%. Anybody who I talk to, because people do come to me with feelings of depression. They come to me with feelings with anxious feelings, and when you dig into it, a lot of the time they are habitual caffeine users. And what we tend to find is caffeine is the most abused kind of upper, I would say. But then when we flip that around, they pair it with alcohol because they believe alcohol helps them sleep.
It's a very brutal way of looking at your own body, isn't it?
Insanely damaging, physically, mentally, and emotionally.
Yeah.
You have too much caffeine, you're scatty, you're anxious, you're horrible, you don't want to make phone calls, you don't want to have human contact. You have too much alcohol, and then it's the exact opposite. You're just a complete mess. Your feelings of depression are massively amplified.
Alcohol affects sleep negatively as well, right?
Yeah, alcohol stops you. One of the phases of sleep is dream sleep, REM sleep, rapid eye movement, like the band. If you have alcohol, if you've got alcohol in your system, it dramatically reduces the body's ability to generate that dream sleep. And it's that dream sleep which is primarily responsible for emotional regulation.
Yeah, I remember you saying this to me a few months ago, and I was like, okay, that's important. I need to start emphasizing this more with like followers, clients, people who buy my material, because I've not really covered it. As far as, just coming back to the sleep issue again.
Yeah.
If you're consuming caffeine and you're consuming alcohol, or any lifestyle choices you're making that are damaging your sleep, and you have PTSD or you have CPTSD or any kind of trauma, you are hampering your body's physical capacity to process trauma and regulate emotions.
100%. So we've got caffeine. We've got caffeine reduces the body's ability to generate deep sleep. Deep sleep is physical regeneration. So you're going to feel achy, you're going to feel sore, you're going to feel lethargic, you're going to struggle to lose weight if you're looking at losing fat, because you're just not going to heal. Physically, you're not going to heal. And then we've got alcohol is reducing your ability to generate REM sleep. So that's damaging your ability to regulate emotions and heal emotionally. So too much caffeine, too much alcohol, it's just a recipe for physical, mental, and emotional disaster.
Yes. Plus, you're going to be making decisions with not enough sleep, too much caffeine. You're already anxious. You're going to be spiking like a fight-flight response. You could be more aggressive. You could be more cranky, damaging your interpersonal relationships with alcohol. Well, we all know the problems of alcohol because prisons are full of people who did stupid things when they were drunk or high on drugs. I mean, I think they said with violent offenders in some studies, they found almost 0% of a violent offense was totally unrelated to alcohol. They couldn't break the connection. Occasionally it happens, but typically people go way too far when it comes to interpersonal violence because they're disinhibited by alcohol. It's a big...
Alcohol makes things seem rational. It makes things seem normal. It's like it's why people generally, when they've had a few beers, they'll climb up scaffolding.
Yes.
This is stuff that I've done in the past.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that sober.
No.
No. You'd be like, no. You have a few beers and you're like, I'm climbing that.
Yes. Yeah. Stunts. I remember when we were younger, we do stunts. It was like Jackass. I remember the last one I did, we were on a footpath in York. I was walking with my mate and one of his mates who I didn't know, you know, these like gates like that they have on footpaths. He said, I dare you to jump through that. And I was doing loads of Aikido at the time where you do a run and then you do a jump and a fly and then a roll.
Of course, yeah.
And I was like, mate, I do Aikido. I can jump through that.
Hold me beer.
Hold me fucking beer. So I ran really hard at this gate to get enough momentum. And I did the jump like that. And then I caught my shoulder and I caught my hip. And then I was went, dunk, 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 and then flopped on the other side. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop doing that now. That's the last time I'm doing any of these fucking stunts because, it's the disinhibition factor is huge. So the reason why I got you in today is because I was thinking for myself just personally, like I need to stop.
Mm-hmm.
I need a hard break because we've discussed this before. The ego is cunning and there's always going to be some excuse. If you say, I'm not going to eat this or I'm not going to...
100%, man.
Just today, just the once.
I'm trying to be good.
I'm trying to be good.
You're either trying or you are.
Yeah, there is no...
If you're as soon as you say, I'm trying, you're literally just opening yourself up for someone to go, oh, go on. You go, okay, then I will. I'll just have this one.
I will.
Yeah, but if you then go, no.
Yeah.
Do you want a drink? If you've got two people at a bar, this is one that I generally use, and it's not a joke, by the way. And there's no horses going to walk in. If you've got two people at a bar, both of them are on a similar journey, similar mission.
Yeah.
Part of that mission is they want to get rid of alcohol.
Yeah.
You've got a third friend. He's bad influence. This guy.
Yeah. His name's Richard Grannon.
Just going to say, we know who he is. Do you want a drink, boys? One of them goes, oh, I'm trying to be good.
Yeah.
The other one just goes, no thanks, mate, I don't drink.
Yeah.
Out of those two people, who's having a drink?
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Don't push me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Oh, go on, I'll have one.
Yeah.
I'll just have one.
Yeah.
So I think it's such a powerful statement to yourself.
Yes.
If you just have like you've just said, a hard reset. No, I'm not doing it.
You just reminded me of when I was doing the door. I think I was still working with you in Liverpool on Victoria Street when we were on Mosquito. And I'd say to people, look, I've obviously got a problem with cocaine because I'm doing it at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Can you just not? And people go, just have a bit. And I go, I can't. And they go, go on. And I go, okay.
Yeah.
That was Liverpool. And then I moved to Tenerife. And when I got to Tenerife, I was actually living with people who were dealers. But I said to them, look, I have a problem. And they didn't know me like that. So I was just like, listen, I have a problem. Never offer me anything and tell your mates and tell everybody. And it just became a thing. Like socially, it was just accepted. And if you did offer me, you're a dickhead.
Yeah. And
people would be like, don't, because it was just established.
Yeah.
That was but I had to go to another country in order to do that.
Yeah.
Hard boundary reset.
Yeah, I think you need it.
So with this, what I was either going to do, I was going to do it on my own. And then I thought, well, if I say publicly I'm going to do it, and if I tell you I'm going to do it, and I tell the people who follow me I'm going to do it, and then I invite some people to do it with me and have you oversee it, then I'm definitely going to do it. Because
you've got a much stronger chance of coming out of the other end victorious.
Oh, we love victory.
You've got I always think if you can declare to the world, declare to the universe, whoever you want to declare to, if you tell people, this is what I am doing, can you help me?
Yes.
You are going to get through it. If you keep it to yourself and go, I shouldn't have this drink, I shouldn't have this drink, I shouldn't have this drink, I'll just have this one.
Yeah.
You're doomed to fail. Sometimes we need a bit of pressure.
Yeah, I think so. I think pressure is good because I don't think this is going to be easy. I don't think this is going to be,
Good.
Yeah.
Disappointment comes from mismanaged expectations.
So on that subject, before I tell people what we're doing and open up to people, not to frighten anybody or frighten me, caffeine withdrawal. What can people? I mean, I have drunk coffee. Some form of caffeine has entered my system every single day for decades, probably 2 decades, let's say. What can I expect?
Everybody's different.
Okay.
I've given up caffeine a few times. I felt absolutely fine.
Did you really?
Yeah. Which is crazy, because at one point I was having probably 8 or 9 coffees. Really? Oh, easy.
Throughout the whole day?
Throughout the
could you
day,
sleep after that?
I thought I could. Turns out I was telling myself a big fat story.
Right.
It's not the caffeine. It's because of this, that, and the other. It's not the caffeine that I'm lying here at 1 o'clock in the morning. It can't be the caffeine. It must be something else.
Anything but.
It's got to be something else.
Yeah. Yeah. You find that, you must find that when you're doing like diet nutrition advice with people, and it's always give me some solution that doesn't involve me not eating dessert. Anything,
100%.
Just leave me my cake.
Yeah. I spoke about this the other day actually on social media.
Yeah.
You've either got 2 options. The first option is be absolutely fine. Just accept that you're not willing to do what it takes. You're not willing to do the work. Go about your business. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
If that's the way that you want to be. Or you can open door number 2.
Yeah.
And you can just do the work.
Yeah.
You can stop talking about it. You can stop complaining about the way that you look, the way that you feel, the way that you behave, the way you perform.
Yeah.
You can do the work.
Yeah. But and doing the work, it's called work for a reason.
Yeah.
It's outside the comfort zone.
100%.
It's not a tickle.
Yeah.
It's not a massage.
Yeah.
You're actually going to have to do.
When we look at reducing caffeine and reducing alcohol is especially weird.
Yeah.
Whenever you tell someone that you're not drinking,
yes,
it's got to be the only drug
Yeah.
that when you tell people you're not doing it, they think you've got a problem.
Which says something about our culture. It says, I mean, especially for Brits. I'm sure.
I'm gonna have a couple of weeks off the booze. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why aren't you drinking?
Why have you stopped taking this really harmful drug that kills people in the millions every year?
Why aren't you ingesting ethanol and rotting your insides? Why aren't you poisoning your liver?
Talk to me.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that. I'm coming off heroin. Oh,
Yeah.
lad, what's wrong with you?
Why, mate?
Why would you do that?
Are you okay, lad?
Yeah. I'm no longer injecting heroin between my toes.
Well, it's weird. I've had a few phases of sobriety, is the posh word, isn't it? I've had a few phases where I've just give up the ale.
Yeah.
And people's first reaction, they're concerned.
Yes.
Is everything okay?
Yes.
Yeah. I've just got a lot to do.
We've hyper normalized it to an insane degree.
Ridiculous.
Brits are crazy, and it's a weird thing. Like the Spanish always bring this up with me. So once the Spanish, if I'm living over in Spain and they realize I can speak a bit of Spanish, they'll have a chat with me. And when they get comfortable with me, at some point they're going to bring it up. They'll be like, "What's wrong with your people?" Like because we're known as a wealthy nation. Some of the Spanish don't like Brits because of the way we act abroad and that, but most Spanish do in tourist areas because apparently we're good tippers. We're a pain in the arse because we're loud, but we tip well,
right?
And generally fairly polite, so we're okay. And they're like, "But why? It's because they drink." They're like, "We'll have a drink, a glass or two, and a bit of a dance, and then we go home. Why do you have to drink until you puke?
3 bottles of vodka." It's weird.
And I'm like, I don't know.
And then complain all week why you're crying into your breakfast.
I'm really depressed and I've no idea why.
I can't think why that would be.
There's no correlation here.
No, it's not that. It's not the fact that you've been on a bender all weekend. Have you asked anyone else?
Well, and it comes with the things, doesn't it? Because I was talking to a lad who does the editing for Trigonometry down south. He's from Liverpool. And he said that it's normalised now for Liverpool, for people of a certain age. You go out and you have a drink and then you have a bag. And you just think you wouldn't be disinhibited enough to do that without the alcohol.
No.
I'm not saying alcohol leads to cocaine. That would be a stupid claim. But if cocaine's there and you're not going to take it, you'd be more likely to fail on that boundary if you've got alcohol inside your system.
Oh, alcohol makes everything okay.
So and that's psychology.
No, it
research,
sounds.
isn't
We'll
it?
just do it.
Yeah, let's do it, lad.
Yeah, you weren't saying that half an hour ago.
Yeah.
2 pints deep now. The world has changed.
Yeah, I'm a different person after these 2 Stellas. So my idea was to, they usually say like it's 21 days to break a habit or build a habit, was to do 20. This was for myself originally. I was like, let's see if my insomnia is caffeine related or not. Sort the sleep hygiene out. Have no coffee. Get into a regular sleep cycle. Chat to you about it and just keep a journal. And I thought, no, I'll open it up to people and set up an accountability group. So if anybody wants to join me in trying to kick the caffeine habit, it's not a course per se. Danny's going to be there answering questions. We will do interviews and stuff as issues come up.
Yep, sounds good.
There will be oversight and techniques and assistance, but it's really an accountability group for 21 days. Kick caffeine. We're going to have another couple of rules in there as well. Digital sunrise and digital sunset. Could you explain that to people?
Cool. So a digital sunrise and a digital sunset is a period of the day where you put your phone away. So for me personally, 8 o'clock at night until 8 o'clock in the morning, my phone goes away.
Yeah.
There's a few reasons for this. One, that when we look at physically, the light in the eyes is reducing the body's ability to produce melatonin. It's melatonin is the hormone which basically sends us to sleep.
Yeah.
So you're looking at your phone all night, you're lying in bed scrolling, you're shining this light in your eyes.
It's not melatonin, is it? That's the skin pigmentation.
No, it's melatonin.
Is it really?
Yeah.
And what am I thinking of?
You're thinking of
Melanin.
Melanin.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, so you've got the physical disruption.
Yeah.
And then we're living in this hyper-stimulated world where when we just don't allow ourselves to be bored.
Yeah.
We're always fidgeting. We're always looking. There's actually a setting on your phone where you can see how many times a day you pick your phone up.
Is there really?
That's terrifying.
Just nervously, just
terrifying.
That
was like 193 times a day.
Oh, that's horrible.
And then
I don't even want to know.
It even tells you what is the first app you go to.
That's interesting.
It's really interesting.
From a psychological point of view, I'd be like, you could probably tell what you're hungering for when you pick up that phone by the app you go to.
This is probably for another video, but these apps, these phones, they're designed with top behavior psychologists. They're designed to keep you on the platform. We spoke about this today in the gym when we were talking about the way that Facebook ads get their data, but by the amount of time you spend on a certain platform. So we've got the hyperstimulation. You're going to be triggered all the time.
Yes.
So when you're lying in bed at night and you're supposed to be resting, you're supposed to be relaxing, you're going to be thinking about what that guy said.
Yeah.
And you're going to be thinking about, why hasn't she liked my picture?
Yeah.
I can't believe she doesn't like my picture. Yeah. Or why wasn't I tagged in that picture? Yeah. Or all my mates have had a night out. Why wasn't I invited?
Yeah.
All these things.
That picture of me in a thong in Dubai. Why didn't it get more likes?
Yeah. And why?
Do you know how many glute workouts I did before that picture of me in a thong in Dubai? I was devoed.
Love of God. Beggars belief, Richard. Beggars belief. So that's why I'm a massive fan of reducing phone activity at night. So this is your digital sunset.
So you're permitting your brain to get bored and to wind down.
Just to calm down, just to relax. Yeah. And then first thing in the morning, you are so emotionally sensitive when you first wake up.
Yes.
It's why people just don't want to talk to anybody. Yeah. A lot of this is to do with caffeine, but we'll cover all this as we kind of go through.
Yeah.
So if you're in this hyper-emotional, hypersensitive state when you wake up in the morning, if you pick your phone up and see that Richard Grannon hasn't tagged me in a picture in a thong,
why would I dream of doing that?
You're going to get upset, and you already are. You're going to get triggered, and then you're going to probably, or if someone comments on something, you're going to get triggered and you're going to respond in an emotional, you're going to react.
Yes.
And you're probably going to say something that you regret saying.
Well, to use the psychology terminology, you could even go so far as to say that's an instrument of emotional dysregulation.
100%, man.
So if you're trying to heal and you're trying to overcome some horrible trauma, jumping on forums where people are describing horrible trauma and then turning off at 2 in the morning when you finally go to sleep, and then turning it back on at 8 o'clock in the morning when you wake up.
You've not even got out of bed.
No.
You've literally, the cognitive experience you have of the day is getting triggered by someone on social media.
In your most vulnerable, you're half dressed or naked, in bed, not fully awake. When are you and you're just letting strangers just run around the living room of your mind?
Yeah, 100%.
With their dirty shoes.
And then what I've noticed is if
wanking on the couch.
If that's your first experience of the day, you're going to be. It sounds a little bit hippy dippy doo doo when I say this. You're going to be attracted. You're going to notice more stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm with that.
So you're gonna be triggered emotionally as soon as you wake up in the morning. You're gonna go downstairs. There's gonna be a plate on the side, and you're gonna go, why is that still there?
Yeah,
and you're gonna see the negative and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas
you'll start being at that vibrational frequency in some mad way, won't you, man?
Well, and it does sound it sounds out there, but it's 100% a thing. I know from experience. What people need
is two juice head next door and telling them, listen, you're vibrating at the wrong.
You're vibrating. Vibrate faster.
Vibrate. What you want is more of that. But it's definitely the way it goes, isn't it?
100%.
You want to protect in that hippy dippy way your vibe.
You want to protect your energy. There needs to be a transition period from being asleep to facing the day.
Yeah.
So for me personally, I don't look at my phone.
Yeah.
I check my sleep data, but I don't go on social media until 8 o'clock in the morning. So from 8 o'clock at night till 8 o'clock in the morning, I don't scroll social media. I don't. I've done it so much in the past. I've checked my emails first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
I've had a snotty email and it's ruined my week.
Yes.
Because I've reacted. Yeah. I've overreacted generally.
Yeah.
And it's caused loads of problems. Once it's gone, it's gone. Once you send something to someone, you can't bring that back.
Yes. Yeah.
So you say something, then you reread the email when your eyes aren't as blurry and you go, oh God.
Oh dear.
That's nowhere near as bad as it was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You know, so having that period, just like when you go to bed, you're having a transition period from wakefulness to sleepiness.
Yes.
If you flip that around, you are going to benefit from having a transition period in the morning.
Yeah.
From when you go from hyper emotional, like a sponge of, I don't even know.
You're very vulnerable. You're like you said, you're in a childlike
super
state,
vulnerable,
which is good. That means you've had a good sleep. You're born anew. You're like a baby. Your neuroplasticity is back. You're open. You're vulnerable. You're not jaded and cynical as you would be at the end of the day. You're really born again in some ways in the morning. And you should protect that space. Enjoy it for, I don't know, 10 minutes before you open up the gateway to hell.
Yeah. Well,
called Instagram.
Yeah. So social media in general, I think if your phone is the first thing you touch in the morning, you need to have a little chat with yourself.
It should be your pee-pee.
It should be your pee-pee.
Can you look into the camera and just say, I'm Danny Wilson, it should be your pee-pee.
I'm Danny Wilson, it should be your pee-pee.
I'm Richard Grannon, it should be your pee-pee.
Do you know last time we did this?
Yeah, this serious.
We got so much grief for being camp. And I don't know why.
No, me neither, Dan.
I mentioned my girlfriend, didn't I? Yeah. And I don't know how many comments I got saying, and they were just going, girlfriend, yeah. It's like, what?
As if. Didn't you get shit off Scousers for saying gull wrong? They said, because we're from the Wirral, we say gull instead of girl.
I got it.
Gull.
I got called a wool.
I got called. I got called fucking wool.
A woolly back.
A woolly back.
A woolly back.
That's fucking racism, that. You Scouse bastards.
And it's going to happen again, isn't it?
That's because you're a pair of fucking wolves.
Hi, it's me again. I've not commented on your stuff for about 6 months now.
You people from the Wirral.
Turns out I was right though, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yes, fair play, mate.
It's the way we say road as well. Yeah. It triggers Scousers. Why do you say road like that?
Triggers them.
These Scouse folks. So, what we've
just been cancelled.
We've done. We've got a structure for the 21 days. We've got rules that we want people to follow. it's not boot camp style. It's going to be,
No.
we're all adults. We're all trying to get it done. If you slip up and you do whatever, you just share it with the group. And it's an accountability group moving you in the right direction. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody else.
I think that though, when you do slip up, because you're going to slip up.
Yeah.
What we are doing,
Yeah.
let's not, like you said, let's not scare people, but let's not pretend that this is going to be a tickling competition.
No, it's not.
It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
You are going to slip up. There are going to be days where you don't do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Going into the accountability group and knowing that other people have messed up too is going to make things so much easier for you to stand up, dust yourself off and carry on.
Yes.
But if you think you're the only person that's messed up, the chances of you getting back on the horse, as it were, they're very, very slim.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Though what I was thinking of doing is that we would say, like, there's 5 things you need to do each day. No caffeine, keep your sleep cycle, digital sunset, digital sunrise, so on and so forth. We've got the 5 rules. And we just have you just score yourself out of 5 every day.
Brilliant, yeah.
And you go 2 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4. This is what happened. This is how I felt. I did do, I said I'd been unbroken with caffeine for a couple of decades. I did it once in Malaysia when I was living in Kuala Lumpur, and I went caffeine free for a week. And there was days where I just fell asleep at 2:00 in the afternoon. Literally, I would just, I remember once chatting to a taxi driver and just be like, I can't stay awake. I just nodded off while he was talking to me. It's going to happen,
He's
right?
a boring guy.
He was dull as fuck.
Dull, dishwater.
Fucking hell. I was like, would you stop going on at me? So it's not one of those things where like it's hyper competitive or it's an orthodoxy, like you've got to pass the purity test. I'm going to screw up. I mean, some of the rules on this, I know I can't meet because I've committed to work stuff. Like we're supposed to have regular sleep cycle. I'm not hitting 5 out of 5s for 21 days. But if they're after 21 days, for me personally, what I want to know is how dependent am I really on this drug? This hyper-normalized, taxable, legalized drug. My mum doesn't judge me for taking it. My grandmother used to offer it me every time. It's so normal. And am I going to be going, wow, I'm sleeping better, I'm recovering from training better.
100%, man.
Food cravings are like reduced.
You know what I love about the story that people tell themselves around caffeine? I need it. I'm not addicted. You listen to yourself. What it does, when we address it, and when you realize that it actually is a story. It's habitual. Getting up in the morning, turning the coffee pot on without even opening your eyes. It's habitual. You don't actually need it. Once your eyes are open to that is a story. It really makes you think, what else am I telling myself? What else am I stopping myself doing by telling myself I can't do it? Telling myself I'm addicted. Is it, can I lose weight? Or is it the story that I tell myself that I can't lose weight? Well, I didn't think I could give up caffeine and I have. I didn't think I could reduce my caffeine. I didn't think I could reduce my alcohol and I have. What else am I lying to myself about? And that, whenever I work with clients, that's a real powerful moment, because it opens the doors to other areas that you can improve.
Well, it's a gateway to a higher state of consciousness. It sounds pretentious saying it, but in a very practical day-to-day level, you think at one level of consciousness, and if you can go, oh, well, I seem to be living a story here, and other people are living stories, you've literally just upgraded your consciousness. You can 100%. Now think about life in a different way.
100%.
And having the brain, it works well with reference experiences. So if we say that is true, and you accept it intellectually, that's one thing. But if you've lived that and you have that reference experience, you go, well, I used to believe, as you said, couldn't live without caffeine. Then I woke up and found, actually, I can. I lived the experience of knowing I was trapped inside of a false narrative. That's really sort of embodying that knowledge, isn't it? You're then living it at that point. Okay, so 21 days. People, if you want to join, there's going to be a link in the more information bar below. I'll pin a comment below. It's just an accountability group. Danny's going to be there giving us oversight. If you've got questions, if you need guidance, it's not a course as such, but we will do more interviews. Danny will upload a few videos into there and that. And he can offer you lifestyle guidance and guidance on sleeping as well. You've got a YouTube channel. What's the name of the YouTube channel where they can find you there?
I don't know.
It's Danny Wilson Coaching.
Is it?
Yeah, if I put that into
Is it
the
Danny
search,
Wilson Coaching or is it Danny Wilson Nutrition?
if I put that into the search bar on YouTube, I find you.
Okay.
Yeah.
My YouTube channel is Danny Wilson Coaching.
Sound. Nice. All right, that's it, innit?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think we've opened the floodgates here.
You think?
Yeah.
You can feel it.
I think the way it's gone is there's going to be a lot of people watching this video going, wow, I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
And I think people, hopefully people, and you, it's going to be one of those experiences which it sounds dramatic when you say it's going to change your life. But it generally could, I think.
Oh, if at the end of the day for this, like if I'm sleeping better, because
It's game over. That's drop mic and walk off.
Yeah. You just got to sleep better now. What does that mean? Well, my hormones work better, my moods are better, my perception, my productivity. It's all changed because I now have a personality half built around caffeine addiction.
Yeah. And misery.
Oh, I love that. Built around misery. If you want to join us, folks, it's a 21-day accountability group. The link is there below. If you want to find Danny, it's Danny Wilson Coaching on YouTube, and he's got an Instagram and a Facebook as well.
Indeed.
And the links will also be provided below. Danny, thanks very much for your time.
This has been emotional as always.
Always is emotional with you, Dan. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for your time and for your attention, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Cheers.